Okay, well, welcome to season 4. We're getting ready to go camping. This is the first time out this year. We're a little bit late, actually. But first, we got a lot of different maintenance, as usual, to get over. But I'm actually starting with some truck maintenance. They're pretty much at that point when they're completely surface bald. So we're going to go get some new shoes put on. And then we got some running around to do. We got a little bit of things to get. Today, day off, but it's also summertime. So got all the goobers with me. One big goober up front. Nah. All right, we're going tires, Sam's Club, Best Buy.
Wait, why Sam's Club?
You wanted those little pinwheel, spin wheel things.
Oh yeah, those ones.
Ugh.
So
Oh my God. Okay, so let's get rolling. What are we doing?
What am I doing?
What are we doing?
Well, so
our dad
You had your chance, you stopped.
our tires changed. So you're getting your tires changed.
Tires
are you
changed.
getting your oil changed too?
Not here.
Somewhere else?
And then,
Goof
and
chip.
then while he's doing that, we're gonna go to walk to McDonald's.
Okay.
Down the street.
It's not a thing.
I thought it was a photo.
All right, so we got some new shoes put on here. These are Cooper AT3s.
Hello.
Hello. Better tread. These are a little bit off-road, on-road. That's what I was hoping for, being that I hunt. So good tires. These were about $280 a piece when I got them. So not the cheapest, but something you need, and hopefully they last another 40 to 50 at the minimum. Last tires only lasted about 32. All right, man, am I wearing a lot of orange now. So we just got our tires done on the truck. That's taken care of. Now I'm gonna focus on the camper. So I'm gonna take you through all of the things that I like to do before we go on our first trip. I like to start with my tires. I'm gonna check everything underneath, do the slide outs, check to make sure they might not, or they probably do need grease those up. All of my jacks that come down, I'm gonna grease all those. I just wanna make sure I take the time today, I have the day off. I take the time to go through everything of mine. My wife takes care of all of this stuff on the inside. So she's checking first aid kits, making sure we have all the blankets, everything has batteries in it, all the utensils we need, any of the cleaning supplies. She takes care of that whole part, and then I kind of do all of the outside maintenance stuff. I'm gonna check on my tanks up front, my gas tanks. I'm just gonna make sure everything's kind of clean. Check all of my sealant around all of my slide outs, make sure that all looks good. I'm again greasing everything, looking at the tires, and then I like to check the kitchen. That's my area outside, so the outdoor kitchen, I'm going to check through all that, see if there's anything I need. So let's go ahead and just kind of go little by little and see what we got going on. All right, I got my air compressor, one of these. A little bit of an upgrade, but so much easier to move around. Thing weighs a lot.
Yeah.
Now we're going to go ahead and deal with the camper tires. So you're going to want to check and see. Now mine has it printed real big here, 80 psi. So that's what I want. But if you're looking closely, it's going to tell you the load balance or the load that you can have on here. And then 80 psi, the thing to check is 80 psi cold. So you can see it cold there. So cold means that I'm not running the tires. I haven't been driving on them. They've been sitting for as long as they have, overnight, whatever. They're cold. So we want to put 80 psi in these because they're going to heat up then as we drive. So you can expect them to get, in the 90 to 95 heat range, depending on when you're traveling. So I like to monitor that. So that's why I have the TPMS system, is to monitor that. So for these, which have that system on them, you can see that these actually unscrew. You hear the air come out. And then behind it, there's a little nut that also comes out. So as you tighten this on, you can untighten this just to tighten the whole thing down. But when you're gonna fill them, you may have to take this off. It depends on what you're actually grabbing onto there. Mine fits, but it's you gotta kind of play around with it. Could just take that off, make it easy for me, but I like doing things the hard way. So I'm gonna go ahead, fill all 4 of my tires, make sure they're all at 80, and we'll be done with the tire part. Whew, it's a hot one, huh?
Yeah, we're gonna hook up the camper.
So we're gonna hook up the camper. Now I'm gonna show you how I try to hook up my camper pretty easily. So we're gonna do that. The reason we're gonna do that is because I'm gonna do the slide outs right now. So by slide outs, I mean I'm gonna back this trailer up into my yard. I'm gonna pull the slide outs out. I'm gonna grease up underneath. Are you excited to go camping? We're getting a camper already, huh?
Yeah.
So we're gonna pull both the slide outs out, and then that's what I'm gonna spray underneath with WD-40. That's all I use. I'm sure there's people out there that'll say do something else, but WD-40. So pull this out, but I do it in the yard. That way the grease goes in the yard, not all over my driveway. So let's go ahead and hook up. I'm a big helper here. All right, Rossi. So what we're gonna do
Let's hook up the camper.
Hook up the camper. So we're gonna go ahead and pull up.
How many more days until we go camping?
2. So then you got my hitch there.
So Dad,
What?
after tomorrow, well, it's camping day.
It's camping day, that's right. So I'm right underneath it, but on this truck, I could go ahead and lower the back because I got airbags. So we're actually lowering it.
Can we lower it?
And now I know it's down past there. So what I like to do is, for this part, I like to go right up under the very front of it right there. And then I hit park, and then I'm gonna go ahead and raise it. And what it does is it just grabs it there a little bit. So I'm hooked up. It's that easy to hook up in this. So we can go in the back and just attach everything. Okay, so you see we're in, latched it down. I'm just moving around. I still kind of do this part, and I definitely still hook inside the brake. It just makes it easier on everybody's brakes to have this on. Now I'm gonna go ahead and move it into the yard so I can get it sprayed. Okay, so got the slides going out. We're gonna bring our jacks down underneath. You can see under the jacks which part is spinning there. That's where I want to grease up. I want to grease up that whole pull. You can see it's rusty. I want to get grease on everything underneath both jacks. I don't need to put them down all the way. So I got a front jack.
What's up?
I got an Ava.
Oh man.
I got a back jack here. Same thing. So just want to get down low enough to where I can get underneath. Go back to the front. All right, so again, any kind of lubricant, WD-40 works for me. Oop, so I just broke the can. No, it doesn't work. I'm just gonna go ahead and grease this whole thing all the way down. And then come back here. Oh, to my slides. Same deal. So you see I got my track here, and then I got these pulls here. I just want to get those ends. Just want to make sure it's lubricated up underneath. Get all the way underneath there. Just like so. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and do that around the entire camper. So now that everything is all nice and greasy inside there, I like to get my slides, I put them right back in, making sure I let it drip for a little bit in the yard. Then I go ahead and bring everything back in. See that moving. So I got that part, and then I also bring my jacks back up, make sure I kind of get everything back to where it was. Ava, that back slide got to go in a little more. Bring these back up. Coming off a year, I got my bleach, 80 gallons in here. It's a cup and a half of bleach, but I'm not filling it up all the way, so I'm just gonna wing it. I know you're probably not supposed to do it. I'm not gonna put more than a cup and a half. I'm gonna dump a little bit in. Again, work with bleach, don't splash on yourself. Okay, I'm gonna dump some in there. Go ahead and grab my water. So we got a little bit of drip down below. That's just because I kept these open. Then close that one. Close this one. Also gonna wash my hand there because I got some bleach on it. Dilute that. See my driveway. A good way to know if you got the bleach going in right, once I get my water pump on, I'm gonna start turning on my faucets. You'll be able to smell the bleach coming out of the faucet. That's how you know it's running through the lines. Once I get it to the end, I shut all the lines off. I just let it sit in the lines for a little bit. You don't want to sit it too long, but sit it a couple hours. It cleans out everything inside, all the bacteria, any mold or mildew. The bleach will destroy all of it. You definitely don't want to run it through your hot water tank though. So I'm actually making sure that's turned off ahead of time is important. And then you're good to go. So now we're inside. Again, I got the water on already, but I just want to show you, at least in my camper, my hot water's in here. And you can see the lines, the blue there and the red on top. It has a valve. The blue one there has a valve down below right there. You want to make sure those are at least turned so they're not going through. So what it's just going to do is feed through these lines but not go into my tank back there. So that's vital to make sure you do before you do the bleach clean out. It won't kill your, I mean, it could kill your tank, but I would rather just not even avoid doing it altogether. So always make sure you do that step. Now, we're back here. We got the water coming out. Don't touch the water because there's bleach in it. You get on your clothes. So you can definitely smell it. I'm going to go ahead and switch this over to the cold.
Smell it from over here.
So again, bleeding the lines, it's getting all the water out. But it's starting to put that bleach in there. So the bleach is good here. It's going down into my tank too, which we're going in 3 days. So the first thing I'll do once we get to the campsite and hooked up is I'll actually run and drain my tank. That way the bleach doesn't sit in there the whole trip, but it also cleans your tanks out too. So it's really good practice to run your lines, clean them with bleach every time you're getting it out of storage, or if you let it sit for too long with water inside and you just fill on easy. It takes 2 seconds to do and a couple gallons of water. So I'm gonna go ahead and just continue this, finish this part up and see what's next. All right, so here's a little repair we're doing on top of our slide out here. Down there, you can see, right on this corner here, this tape pulled back. So when the tape pulled back, it started to catch this little bit of rubber sealant that's here. And I think this serves 2 purposes. I could be wrong, but this is probably to seal in the slide out when it comes in from water and rain, but there's also this little flap underneath that does some of that. But it also keeps it from smashing into the side. So what happened was it would rip this whole piece off here. You can see it's ripped off. And then as it would go under, it would slide underneath this piece here and roll underneath. So I actually fixed this last year, but I just tucked it back in because I didn't do anything more than that because I'm stupid. So this year what I'm doing is I got some silicone. This is outdoor, all weather, waterproof. It's for window and doors, but all I'm doing is putting some dabs in between this piece here. So I'm just going right along the edge. I'm just putting a little dab every 4 to 6 inches. I've done that all the way down, and then I'm just pushing this in here, the flathead. Let's see if you make sure I'm filming the right thing, and it's just going in right over top of those dabs. So what I'm hoping it does there is catches it. Do another row here. Dab, dab, dab. Now there's like a little track in here. I don't know how good you can see. It's really sunny, so I can't see my screen. I'm just putting a dab right in there and then working this with a flathead end. And then once I get so far, just going back and pushing it in. So I'm gonna let this sit out in the sun today. It's nice and hot and humid and no rain in the forecast. So I'm just pushing that. Ava says it's too hot for you? Way too hot. So try being me up here. So I'm gonna do that all the way down. That should hopefully catch it. And then that's really the last piece. The sticky part that was down there, I used some mineral spirits to just wipe it off. Took all the tape and glue that was underneath this piece. And I'm probably gonna put a little piece of duct tape. I know it's not the best, but just put a little piece of duct tape there just so it doesn't keep rubbing back on that and hopefully keeps it sealed. So we'll just keep our eye on it all season. Make sure it doesn't come back down. If so, we'll figure out something more, a little more stronger there to take care of that. All right. All right, well, couldn't forget about our friend Bonesy. He always comes with us. That always gets a good laugh when we're driving. So I have done everything I wanted to do. I got my tires filled. I sprayed all of my different areas that come out from the jacks to the slide outs underneath. All the mechanics are sprayed, which is good. Inside I ran bleach through all of the lines, switched over my water tank, make sure I did that ahead of time. Now we're 2 days out, so I'm just starting my refrigerator here. I'm gonna turn the one on inside. I got everything hooked up electric. So I'm gonna go ahead and just get everything cooled off. And then that's it. We are pretty much ready to get out the door. So in 2 days, we're gonna be on the road getting up to Thompson.